Hey guys, I'm Dee Harris. Welcome to another fun episode of Hanging Out with Dee. And guess who I have with me today? I have Lindsay. Welcome, Anne.
Thank you.
So really exciting to have you. My husband told me how amazing you are at a seminar or talk that you had in Norwalk, and so I'm really excited to have you share your knowledge with us. You are a certified image consultant.
Yes.
And the owner of Style of Success.
I am.
Yes. So let's first talk about your life a little bit, your life story, before you teach us how to look better. So where did you grow up, or where did you start out your life?
I started out in Long Island.
Yes.
And from there moved to Westchester County.
Yes.
And did a few years there. And then my parents got divorced.
Yes.
So I'm an only child.
Yes.
So I followed my mother on her path to reinvent herself, and we moved all the way across the world to Columbus, Ohio.
Oh my God. The world of America.
That's right. Yep, where she went to school to become a wildlife biologist.
Yes.
Which in the late 60s was quite
huge.
a thing.
Huge.
Yes. Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah.
Huge. So what was that like for you?
I was a latchkey child because of it, and so
Yes.
it was tough, but we got through it. So yeah.
So we do have viewers from around the world. What is latchkey? What's a latchkey child?
A child that comes home from school to an empty house.
Yes.
Who lets themselves in themselves.
Yeah.
So you have to be independent,
You
and you have
definitely.
to, and your parent has to be able to
trust you.
Yes.
So you definitely were a very mature child, or you had to be.
I had to be. Yes.
Yes.
I also learned to cook in
You
those years.
did?
They had just invented, this will date me, TV dinners, which I believe is the only reason we survived for the first year. So I ate TV. My mother would buy literally 14 TV dinners at the grocery store on Saturday.
No kidding.
And at the end of the year, I said, I'm done, and I started to learn how to cook.
Yes. That's incredible. That's incredible. So, at 25 years old, you said you drove across the country.
So, well, after she became a wildlife biologist in Columbus, Ohio, she got a job in Denver, Colorado for the Office of Surface Mining. So I did that for 10 years, and I was always drawn to the east. I love the architecture, I love the historic piece, I love the ocean.
Yeah.
And most of my family, my extended family, is back here, so I wanted to come back. And yes, I got in the car with, I think, less than $300.
Oh my God.
And my stuffed animal perched on the steering wheel.
That's so sweet.
And before GPS, I had a map of every state.
Yes.
And anyway, I toured from approximately Norfolk, Virginia to Providence, Rhode Island. And I chose Bridgeport, Connecticut I moved from Boulder, Colorado to
Bridgeport, Connecticut.
But I did it because the house that I wanted to own, and I wanted to become a land baroness, was there, and sure enough, I bought one. I bought a beautiful antique Victorian.
You did, at 25 years old.
I did, yes, and renovated it with the help of some poor bless his heart boyfriend who had the
who was so in love with you.
Misfortune to come into
Who followed you around the world of America.
Worked like a dog on that house.
That is so funny. What did you study in college, though, before you decided to do that?
Sociology. So I really didn't have a strong career path, and probably because I knew what I always wanted to be is I wanted to be a mom and I wanted to be a housewife. I wanted to create a home.
Yes.
So the sociology was just a thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is so cool. So what happened after that, after you got into real estate and started your baroness dream?
Well, anyone who's around here knows what happened in 1988. Everything crashed.
Yeah.
But the good news is that I met my husband, and he, the father of my two sons.
Yes.
And we were together. I was able to be home with my boys, and I was able to create that life.
So you were able to live that dream.
Yes, I was, and that lasted for 16 years.
Yes.
Until he found, how does one say that? He flew the coop.
He flew the coop.
That's right.
Yes, as sometimes happens.
And then it was time to recreate me.
So how amazing is that your mom recreated or reinvented herself, and here you are. So what was that like?
It started off terrifying.
Yeah.
Certainly I had not wanted to be divorced.
Yeah.
And I had, through probably feeling unhappy, I had gained 100 pounds in my marriage. during that time, and so there was that to contend with. And so it was...
So you gained it during the marriage, not in the divorce?
During the marriage, right,
Yeah.
during
So
the
you
marriage,
weren't
yeah.
happy.
Right, and so I had that to lose, and it
Yes.
took me almost 3 years to do it without stapling or other stuff, just the old-fashioned way.
Diet and exercise.
Yeah, exactly. But during that time, I had to think of a career for myself because I had been at home with my boys,
Yeah.
and I stumbled upon the world of image.
Yes.
And image was so interesting to me because I had felt so poor about myself and how I looked and how my husband viewed me, and when I had been married, that I wondered if I could give back something to women. And I also loved the idea of working with men because now I'm single, and you know,
You go, girl.
what fun is that?
What fun is that?
So I thought I was just multitasking all that just beautifully. So yeah, I became the only certified image consultant in Connecticut, and I still am.
Amazing.
Which is a professional accreditation that I'm very proud of.
Of course.
And started my own business, Style of Success, yeah.
Amazing, amazing. So tell me about your kids. You say one is adopted.
Well,
and the other two are
I have
biological.
unofficially adopted.
Yes.
I fell in love with my oldest son's girlfriend.
Yes.
And she's lived with me the last 2 years, and she's the light of my life. But my two boys they're wonderful. My older son has graduated from college, and he's on the med school path.
Wow.
And we fly to the letterbox every day because we're getting acceptances to medical school right now.
Wonderful.
So that'll be next
So
fall.
what's his name?
David.
Shout out to David.
And David
who's
is
the other
keeping
son?
the world safe in Hartford. He's an EMT.
Oh, wonderful.
And so he does that for about 6 days a week, and boy, does that kid have stories. But and then Douglas is the next son, and he is amazing on his own right. He is in Chicago, and he's transforming the world of music out there.
That's Douglas?
That's Doug, yeah, Douglas.
Shout out to Douglas.
Yeah, so
and
good.
who is your new angel daughter?
My new angel, Megan. Who I'm just so proud of, and she's on her way to being a physician's assistant.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, so-
Shout out to Megan as
Yeah,
well.
yes.
Amazing,
Yes.
amazing. So you talk about mentors in your life. Who are those people who have helped, guide you and keep your sails filled with air and keeping you straight?
I probably would have to start with my mom because she demonstrated a tenacity, and I think it was bad for me to be left, alone.
Of course.
For her, it was the late '60s. There was
Yeah.
a huge social stigma that I really didn't have. So she really did show
Social
me
stigma
about divorce.
about divorce.
Yeah, right.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I still remember, and I was only 7. The first thing her mother said to her is, "How could you do this to us?" Yes.
What?
So yes. So it was a thing then. Anyway, showed me how to reinvent that it was possible. I've had business mentors along the way. One of the ones that I'm maybe most connected with is Dee Brown, and that's a woman that shows other women how to have their own business and be successful.
Fantastic. That's great. That's great. All right, guys, it's time for Dee's life questions. Talking about Dee Brown, so she is someone who shows women how to be.
Yeah, she's her own television show as well. She is a very successful women's entrepreneur coach. Yes.
Wonderful. And who else was a mentor for you?
Well, I don't know if you can say my children, or maybe that's who inspires me
Inspired,
the most.
yeah.
That's who,
Yeah.
I
Your
want to show
children.
them.
Yeah.
I want to show them what's possible.
Yes.
I really do, and I
Yes.
love that aspect. So they inspire me every day to do the very best I can do.
Oh, that's beautiful. I'm sure you are. I'm sure you are doing that. All right. What do you know for sure, Miss Ann Lindsay?
Oh, what do I know for sure? I know for sure that I am incredibly grateful for what I have, for the gifts that I have, for my children, for God, the universe, keeping me safe,
Yes.
and those around me, my loved ones, and that it just keeps me going. I want to share. I want to share the love, share the spirit, share the energy.
Yeah.
It's what gets me up in the morning.
Yeah, yeah. And you said your kids inspire you.
Yeah.
The other thing you said was that your dreams inspire you. What does that mean?
I've just finished a piece of my life, which is, the child rearing piece, now that my boys are finishing college.
Yeah.
And now what's left is me. Love and relationship and business success and making choices that don't necessarily have to revolve around them. It's a little, it's heady.
Yes.
It's a little scary because there's so many options, but it's also a lot of fun.
Yeah, very exciting.
Yes.
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 That is very cool. And what is success to you? You're surely successful. What do you think?
I think I define it a couple different ways. The baseline for me is, and again, that's because I certainly have struggled coming out of this divorce financially. For me, I need a certain financial security to feel safe. After that, then when you've got your ducks in a row, then you can start. That's when the philanthropic piece kicks in. That's when you have enough to share. You can start giving. I can give away my services.
Yes.
I can be. I can choose. Young women. I can choose women that need help, like my Megan, that might need whether it's love or whether it's something professional that I can offer.
Mentorship. You're living that.
Yeah. So that's a wonderful piece or place that I'm now just able to start thinking about approaching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. All right, guys. It's time for I Don't Like That Man. All right, Anne. What gets on your last nerve?
Mean people. Stuff happens to all of us. There's things that can irritate you or get on your nerves, but just be nice.
Yes.
We're all here together.
Yes.
Just be nice, whether it's professional or personal. Everybody has their story, and just be nice.
I agree.
And other than that, I guess when my son doesn't take out the garbage, it ramps me right up.
It gets under your skin. You're like, after all this college fees
really,
I'm
are you
paying,
kidding?
take out the garbage, Mom.
That's right.
Yes, and mean people get to me too. I think, I always say to people, when in doubt, choose kindness. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Whenever you're not sure, should I be mean or should I just err on the side of kindness? It's so important, so important. All right, guys. It's time for What in the World? Okay, and finish the sentence. What in the world?
Well, probably the biggest what in the world was after my divorce. And I was, what in the world will I be? Will I be safe? What will I do with my children? Who am I?
I know, the big question.
Exactly. So that was probably the biggest what in the world. And I think if you're patient with yourself, and I was able to give myself the time to figure it out, and I did figure it out, and it's the best that it could be, because I guess because it's right for me.
Yeah. So then what would you say to other women who go through divorce or a sense of loss of self while they're in marriage?
Yes.
What would you say?
That your true self is in there, and sometimes just listening a little harder, and whether you do that through prayer or meditation, just some quiet times, the best of you is absolutely in there. With my work, we focus on the outside, but focusing on the inside is just as important.
Absolutely. And that they're worthy. And they're enough.
Yes.
That's so important. All right, guys. It's time for Say What? right, guys, so you know that this segment of the program is where our masters, like the amazing Anne, get to leave some nuggets of truth with us that normally would probably have to pay for. So she's going to teach us. She's going to teach us how to look our best. All right, so first, graphic, Dill.
I am really excited, by the way, to bring this to you and to your viewers.
Yes.
Because the concept of image is one that sometimes I think we feel a little overwhelmed with.
Yes.
So here are some tips that I have for us, for your viewers today. And the first tip is about fit. This is the fit of your clothing, and often it's the thing that people see first. We see here that there's a continuum, sort of a spectrum, from larger, oversized clothing that could be viewed as sloppy, even though it's comfortable, and to tight or clothing that's very close to the body, but that might look more neat and trim, might be more body conscious, for example. And here we see in this gentleman, he absolutely, on the left, he is wearing a suit that's too big, it's
makes
too
him
long.
look fat.
It may, and
And not confident.
Exactly. And so on the right, he looks much more ready to do business.
Yes. We would do business with him on the right.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
So in our next slide, then, this is an image client of mine. His name is Ted, and I love him because he is he's an attorney. He's a high-powered litigator.
Look at the difference.
But he's only about 5 feet 6 inches tall.
Yeah.
Now, on the left, we see what Ted has done his whole life to try to make up for that. He wears clothing, that big double-breasted peak lapel suit, which is too long in the sleeves and the body, in the legs.
And the legs.
He actually looks, it's creating the opposite. It's diminishing him. He almost looks like he's wearing his dad's suit.
Absolutely.
On the right, we see Ted, and the actual image there, that photograph, doesn't depict the fit of his suit as much as it depicts the change in his body language and who he thinks he
looks
is.
Powerful.
He looks powerful, like a captain of industry, like he is a man that would take on. So you can see him there in front of the jury, just yeah, he's terrific.
Deliberating and fighting for us.
That's
Next graphic.
That's right. It's tough to find images of women wearing clothes that are too big or baggy. But even our First Lady, who has clearly a wonderful figure and many, many resources, someone should have said, oops, not that dress today, Michelle.
It's too
So
tight.
you see where our eye goes to. Exactly. So
it's going below her belly button.
in general,
Yes.
men wear their clothes too big and women wear their clothes too small, if I had to generalize, right?
Really?
So that's a tip for fit. Yes.
Wow. So then how do we find that middle ground as women? Many of us struggle with the midsection, or thighs are too big.
I know, you don't want things to gap or gape or pull or create wrinkles. Vertical wrinkles suggest something is too big. Horizontal wrinkles suggest something is too small.
tight. All right, got it. Next graphic.
Yeah, yes. Love this image. Who would think that this smoking hot woman was under this oversized grandma attire?
That's the same woman. Is that the same person?
Yes, and yes, hair and makeup were redone, but that
Did
is,
she lose weight,
no,
or are you serious?
Yes.
Clothes did that?
Yes, clothes did that. Exactly. I love that image.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I know, that's a fun one.
So talk about the sweater didn't help.
Yeah, it's oversized, it's very matronly, and it all put together, it's baggy, it all put together to suggest someone that just was very diminutive.
Yes.
And the woman on the right just has so much more zest.
Yes.
And yeah.
And ready for life.
And ready for life.
Confident and powerful.
Absolutely, yes.
Wow. Next graphic.
Yeah. Now, this one is interesting. This is tip number 2. You can affect others' perceptions of you using color and contrast. For example, you're wearing a beautiful, vibrant color, right?
Thank you.
Yes. So, oops. Oh, all right. Yeah.
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys. Okay. So we see the woman on the left, not currently on the left, but the other woman on the left is wearing a very high contrast outfit. She's wearing a dark jacket. She's wearing a white or light collar, and she has on a little pop of color. This is very similar to what a man's business suit might be, with the color being the tie. This look is much more authoritative when you have a very high contrast between color. The woman on the right is beautifully dressed, but do you see how much softer she is? It's much more approachable.
Yes.
So why do you care? Because if you want it to come off more powerfully, more authoritative, with maybe a higher level of leadership, you know, CEO of your company, you would choose higher contrast. And if you wanted to come off more approachable, you would choose lower.
I love that.
Yes.
Thank you, Miss Anne.
Yes.
Next graphic.
Yes. This is image client Diana. And I said to Diana, put on something that you would wear business casual to the office. And so she goes and she gets this dark jacket and this white blouse, which is, first of all, very bad for her coloring wise. And it makes her look very sort of stark and rigid. It's not business casual. That's actually it's very authoritative and very sharp looking. On the right, when we put her in clothing that there's a harmony between her own coloring
and the color of her hair.
Yes.
Yes.
She not only does she look lovely, but you can see that she looks more like someone you want to work with.
Pulled together.
On the right. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. She looks a little just too harsh on the left. Yeah.
Good job, Diana. Next.
So this one's interesting. This is tip number 3. You can affect others' perception of you by the use of color in its intensity. How much color and how bright. So a woman on the left comes across, they're both similar looking women. The woman on the left comes across as more fun, creative, high energy. Woman on the right comes across calmer, refined, lower in energy. Why do you care?
Why do we care?
Yep, because on this day, when you're looking at your closet, you might be wondering, how do I want to dress to apply for a bookkeeping position at this office versus being the fundraiser for the hospital gala, right? And you can amplify up or down based on color and intensity.
High five. I love that.
Yes.
Very, very, very nice.
So,
Color is a big deal. Next graphic.
love this color. This is Jim, my client. He's an attorney. He knows how to wear a suit, but he wants to start dating. So I said, all right, wear something that you might go to a bar, take a woman on a date, and yikes. Yikes! So he comes with these pleated corduroy trousers from 1984.
No, Jim.
And Jim, maybe he's 5, 6, 7 pounds overweight, but all of a sudden we just are looking at it.
All we see is
right
tummy.
there, a little tummy in an orange shirt.
Yes.
On the right, what a stunningly handsome man. Again, he didn't lose weight. We just put him in a slimming.
He didn't lose
vest.
1 pound.
No, same day. Same day. Exactly. I want to point that the colors here are so wonderful on him. And what I really want to point out that's interesting is I put glasses on Jim. Women can accentuate their eyes with makeup, but men can't. And glasses bring a structure and an interest. They bring an intensity to your face.
Yes.
I really like him in glasses.
I love that, Anne.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Next graphic.
Non-prescription, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Tip number 4 is about formality. These are the choices that you make when you get dressed in the morning as to whether you want your business formality to be higher, more authoritative, like business suiting, right? Ties, pocket squares, statement jewelry, very polished, professional look, or whether you want your look to be more approachable. It'd be softer, it'd be more casual and more relaxed. Yep, so these are choices you make in style.
Authoritative or approachable.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah.
Next graphic.
Here's an excellent example. This is my client Denise, and Denise is looking very similar in both slides, but you can see on the right, by putting her in a structured, tailored suit, even though the colors are very similar, she's not lost weight, she looks very similar. By putting her in that structured, tailored suit, she looks more business-like. She is a consultant, and she looks like she could handle, I think, a bigger account, more responsibility on the right.
Yes. What a huge difference. Wow. Next graphic.
Here, I love Alex. Alex is, again, he's a banker. He knows how to wear a suit. and I said, put on something that you might wear on a Saturday night to take your wife to a friend's house for a party.
Yes.
It is so common that men do not have a sense of a social wardrobe. They know office and they know sofa, but
They don't.
not anything in between is
Nothing in
lost.
between, yes.
So when we put him in this is dark premium denim jeans and that beautiful jewel tone sweater
Yes.
with again a tailored the structure of a jacket,
Yes.
but still it's casual, it's relaxed. He looks wonderful.
Absolutely. Great job, Anne. Next.
Last but not least, this is my client Don, and Don didn't care. Don kind of fought and kicked the whole way through the image process. And he said, people aren't going to judge me from my looks. People should care about who I am as a
inside.
person. That's right. And so what I said is, yes, you are right.
Yeah.
It's people you don't know. Who in your life that you don't know might you care what their first impression of you was? Maybe it would be someone you just met on a date. Maybe it would be the boss who just suddenly you were introduced to in the elevator. Might it be someone you were interviewing with? Might it be someone that you want as a new client? That's when it matters.
Yes.
And at the end, Don said, okay, I get it.
He
Thank
looks
you.
amazing. You're amazing, Anne.
Oh, thank you.
You're awesome.
All right, guys.
Thank you so much, Anne. We
you.
learned so much about the power of color and structure and the message that we communicate through what we wear and how we can slenderize ourselves. Really powerful. Guys, you know where to find us on Facebook, Hanging Out with Dee. See you next time. Be kind. Bye.
Bye.